Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to the session 2 of our Day 8 Secretary Development Program on redefining teaching through AI, LMS, and digital pedagogies. Today, we have Dr. Nikunj, a distinguished academician and researcher, to our FDP Session 1. Dr. Tahir Ramani holds a PhD in electronics and communication and brings with him over 12 years of rich experience in academic and industry. His expertise spans cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, embedded system, IoT, and signal processing. On the behalf of organizing committee, I extend a warm welcome to him and look forward to an enlightening session ahead. Welcome you, sir.
Uh, Hello, Harshil. Is it audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Hmm. Okay, sure. So thank you, Dr. Mahipal Jadeja and the team of MNIT for inviting me for delivering this session in such a booming topic of agentic AI. So
Yes.
uh, I'm sharing my screen. Just let me know whether it's visible or not. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible now.
Okay. So just to share the content in a better way, I'm switching off my video. So here I'm going to talk about the Autogen, which is one of the agentic AI framework. Many of you have already heard about the different agentic AI framework like Crew AI, LangGraph, LangChain. Uh, uh, so these are the different framework for the agentic AI, and Autogen is one of them. So when we go to this Autogen GitHub, you can see that it is having the star rating of 51.3K, so it is widely used, uh, and it is very much popular also. And it is having the last release on September 30, and it is the framework by the Microsoft. Same way we have the Crew AI, which is also one of the framework for agentic AI, which is having also some star rating of 40K around. So this Microsoft Autogen is very much uh, beneficial when we talk about the team agent collaboration or dynamic collaboration or deep customization of the agents when we form a complete agentic AI framework. So I'll deep dive into this session starting from the framework. I will introduce the framework, and then I'll cover up to the application, which is AR interviewer. So what you can do is at your institute, you can just design something like this, and uh, uh, you can experiment it on your students by asking the questions through this kind of agentic framework, or you can deploy it at your end. So in this case, let's start with the first framework. So when we talk about Autogen, let me go to the website of Autogen. So now here you can see that this is the framework which is actually designed by the Microsoft, and here you have earlier version was version 1.0.2, which is from where it was started, and it was given as version zero point 0.2, and then it was split it into two parts, version zero point 0.4 and AG2. Now we are not going to talk about AG2 because AG2 has left is now no longer used probably, and we are having this Autogen version zero point 0.6, which is over here written, but now we have 0.7.5, which is the current stable version of Autogen, and it is rapidly the versions are getting changed day to day, as in when the updates are coming in this Autogen studio. So let's go to the first part is the architecture part. Now this architecture is it's a high level architecture which is being shown in the this diagram. So here we have developer tools, we have the apps, and we have the framework. There are three parts of it. Now, when we talk about the framework which we are going to use in today's session and which I am going to explore it in more detail, rather than to focus on apps and developer tools is the core, which is kind of the backend, like it's the foundational part where this autogen is built on. So and then agent chit, which is the on top of it, the core. On top of it, we have agent chat. It's like a TensorFlow in Keras. Like TensorFlow, we have the version, but we used to use Keras for the applications because it is a lot more easier to operate. So agent chat is the high level API. So we can directly go to this agent chat. It's a high level API for the multi-agent, and it is built on the top of Autogen core. So Autogen core is the backbone, and we are going to use some functionality of Autogen core, and then specifically we are going to target the agent chat, which is the high level API. We can use it for making the application and multi-agentic framework. Now, then we have an extension like Google Chrome. You have the extension, so you can add in your extensions, or you can add the extensions which are already there. Like you can use GPT-4, which is the model which we use for as a brain for a virtual assistant. So you have the extensions which are supported by the Autogen. You can add in your own extension, which is also possible. Then you have apps. Now in apps, it is first is Magentic one. It's like pre-built application which are already there in Autogen. It's like predefined templates which are there, and you can use those templates. You can use those pre-built application for your customization, and you can have a good app with you. You can make your own app. That is also possible. And then we have a low-code platform in that you have an Autogen Studio, just drag and drop kind of thing like N8N or uh, Zapier and what we use. And then we have a test bench like playground kind of thing where you can run the code before the deployment. You can use this feature of Autogen to just have a look at how the whole framework is performing before making it live. So this is the high level overview. Now let's start with the code part, like how it goes on. So we can use different models in Autogen. Now for this, we can go to the Autogen, and here we have agent chat in which we have the models. Now I'm quickly going through the functionalities which are being offered by the Autogen and what you can use. So these are the documents through which I have developed the code. What I observed specifically is that vibe coding does not work in the case of Autogen. I tried it out through ChatGPT, also the Groks and the other language models. Vibe coding does give you the some kind of errors, and it may not work well. You can try it out at your end whenever you are practicing with the Autogen. So the models which are used by this Autogen, or it provides you the functionalities. First is OpenAI, obviously, which is the most popular model. Now, how to use it, I'll share with you when I give you the explanation about it. So you can have this GPT-4o, which you can use, and then you can provide your Open API key, which you can configure through OpenAI platform. And that is again the paid version. You can use it. Specifically, OpenAI is very popular one among all, which I observed. Then you have different options like Azure OpenAI, which you can also use. Again, it is using the extension of OpenAI. So Azure OpenAI is again using this OpenAI extension to use it. Uh, then you have Anthropic, which is also there. And then you have a local hosting. Like if you are targeting the local hosting at your in your system, that you can use Olama. You can download the Olama. You have different option of the models which you already know, Gamma or whatsoever models which are there inside that Olama. You can use it and run it in your own system. But that is not preferable generally because it takes the system memory, and uh, it may get the performance issue when you use it in your system. The system may get have a degradation in the performance or giving you the multitasking performance. So that can be an issue in that case. So Olama, we generally use it when we want to use it through Google Colab. So that I'll show you that how you can use Google Colab to use it through the Olama AutoGen. Uh, in my notebooks, I have shown this because this is what I used to prefer Gemini. And Gemini, again, here it is written in 1.5, but we have 2.5 Flash Pro, which is already available. So I've used that in that case. And the API key, which is freely available, you can just get it from the Google AI Studio. You can create it and use it over here. So these are the different options which are available in this case. So just for the sake of knowledge, I have shown you that how to use this model. So first library, you have to know what kind of library, which are most important libraries for making this AutoGen based framework, agentic framework. So AutoGen core is obviously one of the library. Then we have the AutoGen EXT models, where you can have all the brains available with you, like what just now we discussed: OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini. All these are available inside AutoGen EXT models. So that's where you can. So this is where you have all the available models which are there. So these are the, and this is supported by OpenAI Chat Completion Client. OpenAI Chat Completion Client is the entity through which you can connect your agent brain to any uh, framework. So like here we are talking about AutoGen. So OpenAI Chat Completion is the mediator between your agent and the framework. So we use this functionality, AutoGen EXT model. So these are the libraries uh, from that OpenAI. So OpenAI Chat Completion Client, and here I am using Gemini. Now, if you see, when we talk about the models, then Gemini is also being captured through the OpenAI extension. OpenAI extension. So this is what is the beauty of this AutoGen, that you can use this OpenAI extension to directly play the Gemini also. So this is how you can use, and you provide the API key, which you can use it over here, and then you can ask the question. So I'll share the whole structure with you in detail, how it is being written. Then you can always use the reasoning model from the DeepSeek. Right? So that's how the reasoning model thing comes into the picture. I'll show you how to observe the agents through AutoGen, and that's where the reasoning comes into the picture. So just you can use this through DeepSeek, and for here you can use this Open Router. We know Open Router. Open Router is a platform through which we can use every model with one API key only, and we can just use that model and play with it. So that is the second option. This is Olama. So here I basically prefer that you can go with the collab and try to explore it. Now, after this model, uh, which are being supported in the AutoGen, what we can do is we can start learning about that, how to draft the whole framework, like how to start giving the inputs, how to make a whole agent, and then we can move to the agent team. So first of all, as I told you, I'm using Gemini always. Assistant agent, which is my core library, which is my backbone, which is built on the top of the AutoGen core. This is used to explore the OpenAI based LLMs. So all LLMs, OpenAI based LLMs like Gemini or extension Azure OpenAI, all these will be uh, explored through this OpenAI chat completion client. Without this, you cannot. This is for .env API key. So I am having this environment file where I am having this Gemini API key. Now, next is, it is all about that you have this framework where first is you have to form the agent. This is the AutoGen agent. Like this is how it goes on. Now you give agent a brain. So this brain can be anything. It depends on you. I have used Gemini. So what I am using it. I am making a brain, I'm defining a brain through model client. This is my definition of the brain. And obviously, since I'm using Gemini, I need to connect it with OpenAI chat completion client. So model client is my brain. And here, what is the API key which I am going to use it through the .env environment. Then you can start building the agent. Now, when you build the agent, you have to uh, take care about two things. You have to provide a brain. This is a brain which you provide. And you have to also write the name of the agent. And this is according to you. Like you can use whatever name you want to give, you can give it over here. So once you give the name to the agent and you give the brain to the agent, once these two things are defined, your agent is ready to excel. Like now it is ready with name as assistant. So you can use this assistant to run with your query, whatever your query are. Now, next step is ask the agent a question. So now I'll tell you what is this await. Just for the timing, you can neglect this part and understand that it is like assistant, and then there are two methods for running the agent in AutoGen. One is run. The first one is run, and the second one is run stream. This is actually used at the time of observation of an agent. Run stream is basically used when we have the when we want to observe the agent, like how it is behaving and how the agents are actually interacting with each other. That's what is the interest. So I'll show you that when I'll go with the observation part. But first is run. A simple run you apply on this assistant which you have designed with the brain and the name, and you ask the task. Tell me a fun fact about the AutoGen. Now, very important thing is how it responds. This is how it responds. Now, in this, there are many things which are actually uh, you can have. Supposedly, this is how it looks like. So, text message. Who is the source? Who's asking the question? The source. So this is where it is very much important to understand that who is that entity, like system message, user message. You may have observed in LangGraph or Crew AI that who is the initiator, who is the responder. So source is the user. What kind of model, text message, number of tokens, and then the content and the answer for the same, right? So what we are interested in, we are interested in printing the message. So message is where you are having your answer, and that answer you can print it like this, which is inside your content. So this is what is the content. Fun fact about AutoGen. Actually write and execute Python code on the fly to solve the problem. They means they can debug issue and all these things. Blah blah blah. So all these, this is what is the content, and we want to print that content. The message when this is what is the message. So result dot message, and from that we are going to print what it is actually telling you. Instead of observing all these things, token and initiator, we can have directly the answer that did you know the whole uh, answer from the LLM, which is your Gemini. You can also use to ask something like this, that you give me the answer of 5 plus 25, and it is giving you the answer which is 30. So this is how uh, it is going to help you in understanding that how to make a simple agent. We are talking about till now single agent. Now, why AutoGen is so much popular compared to the other frameworks? I'm not claiming that it is the like the only framework or it is more used, but yeah, uh, observation from the GitHub repositories of the individual respective, we can say that yes, it is having a more popular, it's having a more popularity among the all framework. So the basic main part of it is async functionality which it offers. Now, what do you mean by async functionality? Async functionality means that this is asynchronous. Now, what do you mean by asynchronous? So we already know, just to give you the understanding, I kept this diagram that uh, if you talk about synchronous functionality, then it is like a microwave when you keep individual plates or anything to get hot inside the microwave. Uh, so that is like one at a time. You keep one plate at a time and get the output, get the plate out once it is properly, the food is properly done. And asynchronous functionalities, you have multiple tasks which are going on. It's like a gas stove where you have one cuisine on one gas and the other thing on the other gas stove, and you have these things running in parallel. So it's like one core performing two tasks at the time. It's not about the multiple cores, only one core for performing two tasks at a time. So that comes under the parallel and concurrent task, which we talk about. So synchronous, what do you mean by synchronous? Synchronous is after one task is getting end, you can have you can have a license to operate the task two, then task three, and so on. This is what is the synchronous. And when we talk about asynchronous, in asynchronous, uh, we can have all the tasks run at the same time, and based on the time limit or the time which it requires to complete, at that time it will get completed and without interfering to any other task which is going on in the concurrent time. And this is what makes Autogen one of the best superb framework, where you can keep the things in async event driven manner. Now, how to do this synchronous and asynchronous? So for which we have, I kept one example. So like we want to have a coffee in bagel in the morning after waking up. Now in this, we have one function for the coffee, brewing the coffee, and one function for the bagel. Now in this function, I have kept the time, which is the time for the sleep time, just to uh, have some kind of rest time. That is 3 minutes, 3 seconds, whatsoever it is. And for bagel, I have kept it 2 minutes or 2 seconds. Now, once I will start my main function and kicking out the timer, time, start time and end time, I'm measuring these two. And in between, I'm having these two functions, coffee and bagel. If I run this code, what I'm observing is that first it will run coffee, brew coffee. It will go to the brew coffee. It will print that, and then it will tell you after the 3 minutes of time delay or 3 seconds of time delay, coffee ready. Then it will run a bagel, which is the next function, and then it will tell you this. And after that, it will print bagel ready. So total time it requires to complete the whole functionality is 5 minutes. But in asynchronous version, what we do is we apply something like this, which is whatever function we want to make it run asynchronously. Now, what do you mean by asynchronously? Once you define this function async def with async def, what will happen is this will run independently without bothering about this. Same way, this will run independently, bothering about this. So you cannot pause, like pause option, which is there in the first one, where we are taking first and then second. It is not possible over here because you want to run it in a concurrent manner and you want to make it available whenever with the least time. So here in, if I'm giving 3 seconds, here if I'm giving 2 seconds, and then this is what is the main function. Once I write this main function, I need to define using something called as await. So await is what? Await is when you run the function, which is the particular function, and inside which whatever the functionalities are, you can define it using async def. Same way, when you run this async IO, which is your library which is imported async IO, which you have to import it because we are using asynchronous version of the Autogen. So how to run async IO dot gather coffee and bagel, and you define it using await. Now what this await will do is it will allow this to run with the async functionality, which is already defined. So await is kind of a, so here what we are doing is we are running with coroutines. There are two concepts, subroutine and coroutine. Subroutine means there will be first function which will run and then second function which will run. So inside which you have the other function, that is subroutine. Coroutine means all the routines are independent. They will run in a async manner. And then as per the completion, they will get ready and give you the output. And this is why the autogen is that much popular in this case. You can write the same functionality instead of async io.gather. You can write same thing using async io.create task. That is also possible. So this is how you use the async functionality. Now let's go to this and understand that how to use async functionality over here. This is our brain. This is how we define the OpenAI chat completion using brain and your API key. Give it a name to the agent, give a brain, and make the things ready for you to run. So here I am defining await. This is what is, I want this function, I want this thing to run uh, independently. Why? Because this is only one thing, but whatever applications you are going to make, which is a multi-agentic framework, in that case, what you want is you want your multiple agents to run parallelly in a concurrent way, not parallel, concurrent way. And in that case, what will happen is like uh, it has to be defined using await, and then and only then you can have a good output. So this is how you can use it. Now, just to give you the idea that how to run this autogen using collab. Now, for which, so this is the code which I have written. Now, in this, I have used T4 GPU, and we don't have any terminal option in this case. Like Collab does not give you the option of creating a terminal or writing something like in terminal how we write in the local system. So this is how you can create the terminal and install the terminal in this Collab. Once it is done, what you can do is you can run this call option with Olama. So it will, now this is like your terminal which you have. So whatever request you will make, suppose you ask any question to the language model, any question, so that will be shown over here in this once the API gets hit. Right? So this is the first one. Now once you initialize the Olama, what you can do is you can pull any model out of the Olama. So in here I have fetched tiny llama, and I'm asking the question in this form like model is tiny llama from who are you, and I'm asking the question, and it is giving me the answer that I'm AI system designed to provide you the base, all the functionality which you want, like all this answer. This is how you can use it in using Collab. You can make a request like this also. So you can have a request in the JSON format where I will be specifying the model and specifying the prompt, and stream is equal to false, means I don't want to observe the agent. Basically, stream means that. And I'm getting the URL by hitting that API, which will be shown over here in this case. And what I'll get the output is, I'll get the output as per the response from the Olama. Now, once you have this, you can install all these autogen library over here. So you have the brain already configured with you over here. Now brain is configured. Now you can use all these libraries, which is the autogen libraries over here, like autogen ext olama, which is for the olama, which we already know. This is already there in the library page. And then you can start playing with the olama in Collab. So you can specify the model, ask the question, and get the answer. So this is how, instead of running it locally, you can run it on Collab. So obviously your RAM will not support If you have a local system, the RAM usage will be more. And here we are using GPU instead of your local CPU. So that's what it makes the a difference when you use it for the same. Now, uh, these are the different ways with which you can use it. Now, how to do the customization in the agent? Now we know how the customization can be possible. Customization in the case of you want your agent to behave like something. You give you do some kind of prompt engineering. You assign a role. You assign a you say that you are an expert in this, or this is how I want to get the output. So in that case, this customization is very important part. And again, while playing through AutoGen, what I observed is prompt engineering is very much playing the key role, because uh, until and unless mm, you're not giving the prompt properly, it may get even hallucinate, right? And once the states are not being maintained by the teams of the agent, it may get hallucinate when even you give the proper prompt. So all these things are running in sync and parallel. So what do you mean by agent customization? Agent customization means we are assigning a role to our agent. That's what we do in prompt engineering, that you are expert in something. And we are fitting that agent for the specific use case. Now, again, let's do this one more time. That you create the assistant agent. Now, what it wants the name, it wants the brain. Brain is already defined. Then it wants the description. This is again very much important. A knowledgeable assistant with expertise in world history, because I'm going to make it as a history agent. And then I'm giving a system prompt, like system message. You are a history expert with deep knowledge of world history. Provide the detailed and accurate answers about historical events, figures, and timeline. Now this is how you can make it customized. Now, how to call this assistant agent? Through assistant, which is defined over here. So what I can write is, I can make a main function, which is taste history expert, which is type this having a await defined. Once you define await, inside which we want it to run independently. So we are defining async def, and inside which again we are running this using run stream or run, we are defining it await. So when you define the kind of a function, you use async def, and else you can use await when you get some output or you run some the main function. And then you can print the result. So that's how it gives you, like, first president of the United States of America was George Washington, and so on. So this is how you can make a customization inside the AutoGen, where now if you want to see the functionality, that what kind of functionality the assistant agent is offering you, just hover over to that part and see that what functionality it offers you. Right? It will tell you that what kind of functionality you have with assistant agent. You can use this functionality from here and to give the argument over here. There are many things which you can give it over here. For the time being, I am going with the initial part, so I have given only these 4 parameters. So this is how you can customize. Now, same way, you can go for the tools. Now, when we talk about the tools, there are many tools which are there. So if you go to the core, there are something called as tools. Now, there are 3 kind of tools which we have in this AutoGen. First is a built-in tools, which you normally write that when you want to do specific task like calculator task or any basic task which you want it to execute. So in that case, you have a built-in tools. Then second is the custom function. Custom functional tools is what you want to make it. Built-in tools, which what Autogen offers. So Autogen is offering some kind of built-in tools like in YouTube or Wikipedia, Archive. All these are having. You can directly integrate those and you can have it over here. Customization tools means the tools which you are making, tool calling which you do, functional tool call. And third is calling tools with the model client. So this is the three things which you can do it over here. I'll show you how to do it. So in this, I'm just showing you, I've not used any kind of tools over here. I'm just showing you that how to call the tools. So here again, same thing. You are running something called as test weather tool. Now we are trying to get the weather of particular uh, city or state. Now we know that for this we need a tool calling, because LLM will not be able to get it without the tool call. It will give you the wrong answer, or it may get hallucinate, or it will not give you a proper correct answer. So for which obviously we have to have this tool calling mechanism with us, because it is the current scenario question or recent scenario, present scenario question. So in this, we are asking this, and for which my client is name is weather assistant. My client model client is again Gemini, which I have defined it over here, Gemini 2.5 Flash. Uh, and system message, I am crafting a system message. Your weather assistant used to get the weather tool when asked about weather in the city. So here I am making it more customized, that whenever it is being asked to you about any weather conditions, you use this tool which is provided over here and try to find out the answer. Now here I have defined something called as get weather, which is again, you can just hover over to this assistant agent and try to see what kind of functionality you can have over here, tool calling behavior. So you can go on to these and try to read that which kind of tool you can use, how to use those tools, how to write those tools. And here I am defining get weather. Now this is a get weather which is defined over here. And in this, the city I need to pass, and that city is of type string, and the return type that I want is also string. So it is again kind of a line graph. When define a state, we have the input which we need to make, and what sort we want the output to be. So that is also string. So my input is also string, and I would the output, which the weather, the whole sentence, which is something like this in return. The weather in the city which we are passing it is sunny with the high of 35 degrees Celsius. Now here I don't have any tool call, so that's why I have directly wrote this sentence over here. I don't have any tool calls over here. I have not I'm not calling any kind of weather API over here. So just to show you that uh, how this thing will happen, the tool calling in AutoGen. So what it will do, the doc string you can directly define over here. And once you have this, you can get the answer, which is already I have already written, that weather in the New York is sunny with high of the 35 degrees Celsius. So this is kind of a way with you can initiate the tool call mechanism, uh, where you have to use this assistant agent. Again, you can go to this agent chat and try to look at that what kind of functionality it offers you based on the all the functionality which is over here. So uh, now it is also having multimodal capabilities. Multimodal capability means, when we talk about multimodal, what we have? We have an image, right? We have a video, we have a audio, we have a speech. So all these comes under the multimodal part. So here I have shown one image demo with which you can just try to interact with the image uh, and try to find out from the LLM that what that image is conveying, what kind of image it is through the autogen. So just a minute. Okay. So I'm taking one, again, I need to define this model, which is Gemini one more time. Now, for image, I am using this Pixum API. If I go to this, so this is one of the uh, website where you can have all these pictures which are there, and you can talk to those pictures through Autogen uh, framework. So supposedly this is what is the API. So what you can do is you can have this, you can just copy and paste over here, and then you can just uh, remove the ID sort of thing. It will give you the resolution in terms of 200 cross 300. So this is how. So every time you reload the page, it will give you the new image. So this is what I have used over here, Pixum. So I'm directly using this image, which is having this URL. So if I this is kind of a dog image, and you can find many images over here. You can just try to play with this, try to import different images into your Autogen and try to get the idea that how Autogen is giving you the answer. I'm using this kind of URL just to give you the idea that supposedly I'm using this request library. So for that we have this request library, and here I need to have Autogen image format. So there are two libraries which are being used. First is PIL, which is obviously which is very famous in image processing, which is Python imaging library. And you import it using PIL and then convert that PIL image format into AGI. That's what, using request library, you request the image via website instead of local image, and then you can try to ask the question. So this is how first you request, then you take that image, name it as PIL image, and then convert that PIL image into AGI image so that it can be interpretable inside the Autogen. That's what we require. So what we write? We write this. Now here we need to write multimodal message. Now when you don't have the idea that what kind of message you read, what message you want, or which kind of message you require, you can directly just try to get the messages tab from this Autogen. That will give you the idea that how it goes on. Again, you go to the Autogen and write messages. So these are the different messages which you have it over here. I'll show you, don't worry. I'm having different messages format which I have kept it in my code, so you can directly see it from there. But there are different kind of messages which we have. So based on that, you can just try to explore that which kind of messages you uh, can use. Text message, multimodal message. This is a multimodal message which I'm showing it you over here. So what you can define it over here, just go through this. It is inheriting from the base state message, and this is how you define. So in this, what we are asking to this image is, once we are converting it into the AGI image, we are using this multimodal message, and inside which we are asking content. So just hover over to this, will tell you what it is required. So content, what is in the image which we are asking to this AG image, and who is asking? The source is asking, which is the user. So just try to form a multimodal message through this library. Go to this library and find out how to write multimodal message, content and type. So then you run this task and try to find out that it tells you the image contains a black Labrador puppy and so on. The whole indication of the image, that what it is made up of, like what it conveys you. That's what we can play it from over here. So this is the multimodal capability which AutoGen offers you. Now, next thing is we have to understand that how to observe the agent. And these all things which I'm telling you or I'm showing you, these all things are very much necessary to make the agentic framework in AutoGen. So that's why I'm going through the details one by one so that you can digest and have a look at it, that how we can make a team of the agents by starting from the single agent. So there is a concept called as running and observing. Now run we already know. Just now I'm showing you all things with run. That is this agent.run, right? There is something called as observation. Now for observation, there are different things which you need to understand. First is on message call. Now what do you mean by on message call? On message call means whenever there is an event, there will be a trigger. So whenever there is an event, we define inside the on message, and just uh, this is defined inside this agent, and you can just use this on message. It will tell you the whole information, that how this whole request is being made. Tool call request event, source is assistant, and all the information starting from metadata to the answer. Now, same way we can stream the message. Streaming the message means what? Streaming the message means whenever the two agents are interacting with each other, or maybe multiple agents are interacting with each other, we want to have the stream of this message. So that is called a streaming of the message, and which we use it through run stream. Instead of run, we write run stream. Till now we were using run. Now we are writing run stream. And in run stream, we can observe how they talk with each other, what kind of how the requests are being initiated once you give any text message from your side, when you have the request from your side, how it will start the whole process. You can just observe through run stream, and for which you have to write on message stream. So let's say I run this, and what I got is it start doing this task. First is the argument query. So it will make Labrador retriever. From where it has to do this? The web search. It has to get the information about Labrador retriever from the web search. Right? So it will get that, and it will, this is what is the information. And it will give you like this. The Labrador retriever, or simply Labrador, is British uh, breed of the retriever gun dog. So this is kind of a summary, or the sentence which is being fetched from the LLM. And this is how it does. This is a simple one agent part, but when you have multiple agents, it will start printing those interactions over here. And I'll show you that. So this is kind of a on stream, uh, run stream part, which is very much important if you want to observe the agents. Observe means try to find out what those agents are conveying to each other, how they are interacting with each other. For that case, you need something like this. Now, next is there are two things: structured output and unstructured output. So what is a structured output? I hope we are on the same page. If not, just let me know. And I hope that I am going with the pace which you all are able to get it. Uh, okay. I hope we are going good. Yes, everyone? Everyone? Uh, can somebody respond whether we are going good, or are you able to? Okay, done. Cool. Right. Thank you, sir. So, yeah. So, in this, many times what happens is that we know that we want the structured output, right? Now, there are two things. LLM always provide the structured output, and uh, unstructured output, which is in the text form, right? And what we want is that sometimes we may want it to give a structured output. So text is always unstructured, but we want to make it in a form of structured. So what we can do in that case? So for which many of you are knowing that we have this uh, output parsers. If if any if any one of you are knowing that we have the output parser and output parser, where we have different type of the output parser, right? So in that, what is happening is we have the structured output part is also there, and where we can use something called as pydantic. I hope many of you are knowing about the uh, pydantic. And pydantic is what is pydantic is one of the libraries through which you can get the structured output also. Just a minute. So pydantic is what is one of the very famous format, and you might be knowing about it in detail. So what we can do is I can go to that library directly, pydantic, or I can show you this URL also. So I'll provide you all this thing resource. So it will be helping you to get the structured output, and we have also something called as pydantic AI, which is now very much in use. So this is pydantic AI. So this is also one of the library which is designed to help you quickly and get the validation done. Basically, we use it for the validation, which we already know, because many times API does not support the uh, unstructured format. They are giving the output back into the proper JSON structured format. So in that case, pydantic is very much important, and it's already written that you have the auto GPT and all these. Thing which are Google ATK agent development kit, which is very recent one, Anthropic SDK, all these things you can use it. So here what I'm doing is I'm defining this base model, I'm importing base model through Pydantic, and I want my LLM to answer in this frame, in this format. Class planet info, base model, and I want it to give me the output name should be in string format, the color, and the distance mile. So I'm going to ask the question like this. You are a helpful assistant that provides information about the planets, right? Now, this is what is the system message. And then my query is, please provide the information about the Mars, and the query which will be passed to this system message, you are helpful assistant that provides the information about the planet. So we are asking about the Mars. And I want my LLM to give the output in terms of planet info class, which is inheriting the base model, where name is string, color is string, distance miles is integer type. So now what I can do is I can give directly all these things to my brain. So whenever I'm defining the brain, which is my Gemini, I can directly give it like this. Response format is equal to planet info. And planet info is what? Inherited from the base model. So we can directly provide. And then once we run the query, what we are getting is name, color, and distance from the miles. Right? So this is how you can get the structured output itself from the autogen. It's very easy. Just you have to provide it to the brain, and brain will do the rest. So that is also possible in which you can have it. Now let's go to start building up the concept called as teams. Now there can be two possibilities. One possibility is a single agent team, and the other possibility is multi-agent team. You can have a single agent team also. You can have a multi-agent team also, and you can have itself single agent working till what we had seen. So single agent, that is the only one agent is doing all tasks, which is not good, obviously. You can have a single agent team, and then you scale that team whenever you want. The scalability depends on the application or what kind of task you want it to perform, how many agents you want to deploy. Based on that, you increase and scale the whole team as and when required. Right? So here now we are providing the different agents. Right? So what I want my agent to do is I am defining three different agents. First is plot writer, second is character writer, and third is ending writer. Now you can get the idea that what I'm to do. I'm trying to execute this task. Write a poem on the spring season. I'm asking my agents to write a poem. Again, I want it to get streamed because I want to have a look at interaction between all three agents, which I'm using it over here. So the first agent is plot writer, and inside which you can directly customize that you create the engaging plots for stories, focus on the knight's journey, and complete it. I'm giving a restriction that complete it within the 10 words. Then character agent is going to develop the characters and all the information which you give. And the ending writer is which write the engaging endings and concluding the story with the twist and complete it within the 10 words. So this is how I have defined the three agents through agent chat dot agents. Again, the way of writing is same. Instead of writing one agent, I am defining three agents with three different names, and the brain is same, which is Gemini. Now, how these agents are interacting, there are different types of it. That is where the most important part comes into the picture. So we have round robin group chat. So there are different way with which these autogen teams interact. So you can directly uh, go to the teams and you can find it out that which are the types of interaction the team supports. The first is round robin group chat. Now, what do you mean by round robin group chat? So round robin group chat means you can have the 3 or 4 or 5 agents, something like this, that are working towards the common goal, and they are in the team. So this is what is your team. Now in round robin, what will happen is the round robin group chat will try to do it like this. Agent 1 will start doing the task. Like let's say here it is a plot writer, which is the first agent. Then it will pass that to the agent 2, which is the second agent, which is a character writer. And then once this agent 2 will perform its task, it will pass it to the agent 3, which is the ending writer. This is the one. This is called as the round robin fashion. And then again, if you have anything to get improved, I will show you how to use human in the loop. But right now, the round robin is something like this, where you have 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1, and so on. This is how it goes. This is called as round robin group chat. So this is it. There are different interaction way with which you can do it in AutoGen. This is the first one. Second way is okay. I'll show you that in the after covering that code. So round robin is the first one. So you can just go into it. And then you can just have a look at what it wants. It wants participants. Participants means what? The number of agents which are taking part in this team. The name of those agents, description, all this we are already writing till now. This is new one. I'll tell you what is this termination condition. Max turns. This is what is the important. Now, what do you mean by max turns? Max turns means that when the response will be generated by agent 1 and it will pass it to agent 2, that will be 1 turn is over. Then agent 2 will generate the response, it will pass it to 3, second turn is over. Then 3 will generate the response, pass it to 1, 3 is over. So 1, 2, 3, 3 turns are over. Then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. One agent to second agent considered as 1 turn, not the 1 iteration, 1 turn. So you have to define in this. Now you can see the write up, what it actually tells you. The maximum number of turns in the group chat before the stopping. So what do you mean by that? That means that what are the sufficient number of turns that you should keep in which you feel that your agent is performing satisfactory jobs. All the agents are performing satisfactory job, and the goal is achieved which you have already defined for that these 3 agents to do. Right. So here you have to give that number that is required. So here we can define this team as round robin. Again, you can hover over to this and just try to find out the same thing. You will be able to get it from this. Again, those who are using VS Code Copilot, please don't use it, because again it will fool you. It will give you wrong answers. So auto code completion, don't use Copilot in this, because it many times it gives you the wrong answer, because the updates are there every now and then, and it may give you the false code completion. So try to go to these pages and copy paste and try to play with it. So here we are defining the round robin group chat, and we are defining participants. These are my participants. And max turns is equal to 3. This means that I feel that with 1, 2, and 3, my job will be done. So with 1, whole iteration, I will be able to get the proper output. That's what I feel. And that's why I've defined max turns equal to 3. If you don't provide anything over here, see what will happen. No limit. It will try to run in that indefinite loop. Right? So am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Okay. So just a minute. So that's what I was talking about. That you have to define this max turn over here, and then again you provide the run string and try to have a look at it how it gives you the response. So just what you can do is just copy this and create a markdown and try to paste and observe what it gives you, like user model, content, so that if you want to specifically fetch the specific content, then you can directly use that type of the message. So just for the sake of convenience, what I'm doing is I want to see which kind of messages which are there inside this whole writer, because I have used stream. Stream means agents are interacting in this way. This is how it interact. Now I want to see which kind of messages are there. So first is autogen agent chat, which is the agent one, text message, text message, text message, text message, and the last one is task result. What do you mean by task result? Task result is the last type of the message in any case when you run the autogen with multi-agentic framework. So if you want to see that which was the last response generated, you can just go to the task result, and before that, whatever the text message is there, try to have it. Like here also it is writing ending writer, then content writer, then source writer, whatever the writers which are there, will try to give you everything. Right? So I try to print those. The last message is always task result, and task result is also giving you the idea that what can be the last message, which is the stop reason. Stop reason means where the whole response from the agent will get stopped. Right? So if I give something like write a poem on the spring season, I'm checking in by this response, the whole run stream response. Where is that any task result kind of message is there? If it is there, then print something like this, which is the stop reason. Why stop reason? Because max time is over. Now user has asked something. First agent, second agent, third agent, and then it will stop. And in that case, what it will give is will give you stop reason, and then the what is the message? Message is maximum number of turns 3 reached, which you have already provided over here. Right? So till it reaches the end, it goes on with the text message. But once it will encounter type of the message as task result, that's where the whole phenomena comes to the end. And obviously, you have this already defined condition, which is max turn is equal to 3. So at that time, it will directly give you that yes, now it is stopped, and you have the output what you want, and which you can see it over here. So if I want to observe the output in better way, this is what is the most important library. Again, this is also very much important library when you want to have the output in some good proper with visualization or better appearance of the output. We have something called as console. and which is coming from agentchat.ui. So again, you can go to this and try to find out. This is where autogen agent.ui is there. So what it will do, it will try to format or printing the agent messages in a good way. Right? So supposedly if I apply console, again, await is for the async functionality, obviously you are going to write await. So you write await and then try to look at the console output, how it will give you. Write a poem spring season given by the user. Then plot writer will write a superb plot for you. Then it will pass the things to the next one and so on. So here it will get truncated. Right. So this is how you just try to get these results again uh, in case of console. Right. This is one of the way with which you can. But the main idea which I want to tell you is that it is what is your round robin chat, which is most important part. Now, once you define this kind of team, which we have observed, where you have a round robin chat and you have the different participants inside it, then how to reset those teams, or how to, uh, I should say, uh, uh, stop those teams, resume those teams, and so on. Right? So how to do that? That is again most important part. Sorry. So here we are going to look at some of the operation based on this. So I am defining three agents. First agent, uh, so it is kind of a calculator operation where I am giving the task is start doing the addition, and first number is 0. Now this is where the prompt engineering is also very much important, because I tried it in many ways, but I was not able to get the proper output because the agent was getting hallucinated. And then I gave it a proper prompting so that it can get the proper instruction and then does not get the hallucinate, and inside which also the system message should also be proper one. So start doing the addition, first number is 0, which I have already provided. Now agent 1 will do what? The name is add one agent. What it will do? It will add 1 to the number, which is the first 1 plus 0, and give the result as the output. Then second agent will again add 1 to it. Now this is what is the consecutive operation. And third is add 1 to it and give the result. Now this is, again, I am giving it to round robin group chat, where I have defined the participant, first, second, and third addition agent, and max turns is equal to 3. And I'm using console to have a good look at the output. So first is my message, and then agent is telling you like this. Okay, starting with 0, 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. Pass the turn to the next one, which is agent second. 1 plus 1 equal to 2, and then so on. Okay, continuing 2 plus 1 equal to 3. Right? This is the sequence. Now let's say somewhere you stop this operation. Right? Now after some time you want to resume the same. Now what is the autogen team feature? All the teams are stateful. We know the statefulness, importance of statefulness. That it can retrieve the context which is being given in the past. So stateful state, which is the output which it gets in the last turn, it is able to remember that and maintains the conversation history and context after each run unless you reset. So what you can do is you can just write something like this. Just run the team one more time. So here you have stopped, but again you can start running it. And what you are getting is uh, starting from where it left. So 3, then 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 6, and so on. Right? So it is doing this task, and try to get the output from where it was left out. Again, you can just do this and try to observe every time. So what is the importance is it can find out from where it was left, and then it will start doing this. Now you can ask something like this: what was the largest number you got in the result? Right? Uh, that is that in the last run, how many parties? How many? What was the last result which you got? So here it is trying to check in the previous, and the last result which it got, which is having a maximum number, is 9. So what it will give is, it will give you that the last number it gives is 9. The largest number I got in the result was 9, and then not only it will stop there, but what it will do is it will continue the addition. That is what is important part. So that is what is the feature of this autogen, right? Now, if you want to reset the team, so resetting means what? That you reset all the agents. So once you reset and then you run, what will happen is, what you are getting is the result is 1. So it is showing you just the first agent output. 0 plus 1 is equal to 1, right? So this is how it goes on. It just, once you reset, all the agents are initialized to reset 0, and then you can start running the team and try to observe what it gives you. So this is the team operation. Now this is again, most important point is termination condition, which I was telling you when I was asking you about the agent chat. In that you have the different option. In route robin chat you have the different option, like uh, what are the option inside this teams round robin chat, and in which you have something called as termination condition, right? So what do you mean by termination condition? Termination condition is where you can customize, and uh, you can give certain condition when to stop, right? Now there are different termination condition which are possible, right, which I'll show you one by one, that how to stop this uh, agent to work whenever you want. So one thing is you can give max term, that is the one option, and other option is that's what you define. So here we are uh, again same program, same statement, and what we are getting in this case is, if we don't define max term, here I have not defined any max term. So what it will do is, it will run for the infinite loop, and that's what it is doing. Once I run, it will give me some vague answers and try to hallucinate, and it will run forever. Then I have provided the keyboard interrupt and it will stop. So one option is max term. Second option is what? Second option is you provide the message. Now what do you mean by message? So you have several termination possible. What I did is, I just clicked on conditions, termination conditions. So just hover over to this and control and click. And these are the possible termination options which is possible with you. Right? Now, which are those options? The options are max message termination, text mention termination, stop message termination, and so on. Right? Now, we will try to explore some of them. Right? So here, what I am doing is, I am using something called as max message termination. Now from the name you can get the idea that what it is actually. max message termination means what? Just again, you can go to, if you don't want to go directly, like you can directly go to the, write in Google that autogen max message termination, right? So here it will give you all the details of all the terminations which are there, right? So in this, uh, we are using this max message termination. What it gives you? It will stop after the specified number of messages have been produced, including both agent and the task message. So here it will count both agent ka message and task message both, right? You have to specify that number. Okay, how, after how much, how many times, how many that number count you want to stop your process. So here I am providing that number as 5. That it should run for 5 times, that 5 messages, not turns, 5 messages. And that messages include agent ka message also and user message also. Right. So what I am doing is, now again you hover over to this, we are using this termination condition. And what is the termination condition? Max termination, which is nothing but max message termination, and the count is 5. So now if I start, instead, so now I have not given that max turn. Max turn is not there. You can keep that also. We can combine the condition. That is also possible. I'll show you. Right. So first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So here it will stop and it will tell you the maximum stop result. Task result is what? Maximum number of messages 5 digits. Current message count is 5. Right. So that's where it will stop. So that is the first kind of message. Now next is text mention termination. This is the text mention termination. It's like that in class, you if you ask some students that that what is the answer of this question, then somebody will raise hand and ask the answer the question. Same way, when the agents are working with the task which you are giving as a part of objective or goal, once they will start working on it, let them take the decision, not you as a user. Let them take the decision. And what is the decision that they will take is, you can tell them that please stop whenever you feel that the task is completed. So supposedly, if this agent is doing some task, our response is given to this, second to third, third to fourth. Now agent one feels that the task is all completed, then and we are getting pretty good response from the agent 3. Then the agent 1 will say hand raise terminate. Now that terminate can be like you can keep it anything. Here the example is given as terminate, but you can keep it anything. Right? So here what we are, that is called as text mention. So here the text mention termination is there, and I am using the text mention text as the end. Right. Now what I am doing is continue the story. So two agents, I am writing a story, and I am writing continue the story and critique it with the feedback. Keep it short, no more than 40 words. And this is what is the important part. Keep it short and no more than 40 words, and if it feels complete, just say the end and only output the end. This is what is the important. You have to instruct your agent that once you feel that your job is over, you can just raise your hand and say terminate. We don't want to proceed it further. That condition will be met and you are through with the objective or the goal which you are given. So once I run this with this text termination, write about story about Ramayana, which I have given. It has given me some story within 40 words or 50 words. And then the first story writer, which is the first agent, which is making a story. And second is story critic, which will provide the feedback. And if feedback again will go to the story writer, again it will work on that feedback and continue. So here it feels that story critic feels that okay, it is feeling that it is decent story and I'm happy with it. It will raise the hand and say the end. Means the job is complete. Right? Now the next combination is you can combine the termination conditions. Right? So here I am using what? The combined termination, and the combined termination is like this: max message termination, which is 5 count, and the text mention termination, the end. Whichever will come earlier, it will stop. Whichever will come earlier, it will stop. Right? So if it, let's say within 3 message, the agent feels that the output is okay, it will raise the hand and say the end. So it will not go up to message 5, even 5 count. But if it feels that it has to go till the 5, still I am not getting the satisfactory out. It will go till the 5 and then terminate. Then there is no scope of 6. That is done. After that, we don't have. So that's why this condition is there, or condition. Right? So this is also you can have it. External termination. Now, what do you mean by external termination? External termination is where whenever you want to cancel the task or terminate it through any external condition, which is you can get it from here. Enables programmatic control of termination from outside the run. This is useful for UI integration. Now, you can easily say like this, like if you go to chat GPT, write a story about Ramayana, then you run it and then you make it stop. This is what is stop. External termination. Stop. Right? That's what we are doing it over here. So if you want to stop, then you can use this condition. Now we can go to the single agent team. Now how you can deploy single agent in a team. So if you call it as we have a team, but it is a single agent team. Right? So in this, what we do is why we use single agent team first of all. We can log that individually. The termination condition, we can observe that because we have only single agent, so observation will become much more easier. Logging will become much more easier. Scalability, as and when we have the ESS, we can increase more and more agents. So instead of deploying 3 agents at a time to make a team, we can start with the 1 agent, and as and when use cases are there, we can scale. Control. So you can control, you can observe because we have less agent, only 1 agent with us. We can do any logging, any observation properly. It will become much more easier. Right? So this is the example what I am giving till now, where I am having round robin group chat, but participant is only one, which is the poet. Right? And termination condition is text mention termination, and inside it is your call. Whatever you want to give, you can give. So I'm giving the prompt: you are a poet. Write a short poem on moon and end with moonlight fades. And here the system prompt, the user prompt is write a short poem on moon. Source is user. So this is inside the customization of the agent, and this is what is the user query. So it will start writing the poetry, and at last it will end with moonlight fades because I have already given the system prompt for the system message, that is it is moonlight fades. End it with the moonlight fades, which is the termination condition. Right? Now, what is the advantage and disadvantage of having single agent team and single agent? Team, you can stop with some text mention condition, max message termination, and whatever you want. Single agent, it will run till the task end. It will go on till the task ends. But here you can terminate whenever you agent feels. Observability, observation is always possible. but here you require manual logging for the single agent. Flexibility is you can always scale to the multi-agent and it is fixed to the one agent only. Now, how to manage the state of the agents? There are two things: managing the state of the agents and the managing the state of the team. There are two things which we are going to discuss now. Uh, in this, what we are going to say is state of the agent, that how to retrieve or load the agent state. So again, I am giving two agents, uh, sorry, one agent, which is assistant agent, and I'm asking it that you are a helpful assistant who can answer the question and provide information on a wide range of topics. Right? You are a friendly, informative, concise. Right? And here the user messages: can you help with me a travel itinerary for of the France from May to June? Keep it under 30 words. This is my user query, and this is what is my role which I have defined for the agent. Right? Now, once you run this, you will get some output. Like this is what is the output. Paris, Lore, this and prevents and this enjoy city and blah 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 everything. Like simple. I kept it in within some 30 words, so it will give me the answer within 30 words. Right. Now, what I'm doing is I'm saving this state of this assistant agent, which I have defined over here. Where I'm saving it in agent state. Right. So now if I print that, I'll be able to get what was the last state of the agent. It will give me the whole response. Now to check whether it is working fine or not, or it is able to prevail that state or not, I am making one new agent, which is assistant agent 2. And to this assistant agent 2, I am directly giving the agent state, which I have saved it over here. This is my new agent. Instead of doing any extra work, I am directly giving this agent state, which I have saved previously for the first agent, directly to it by load state, which is my new assistant agent. And then if I ask it, can you tell me what was the last discussion about? Now, since this is the new agent, the state which was given to it, which was the first agent state, it can still continue because it is having that last state with it. So it will directly tell you what it will tell you. What was the last discussion? It will tell you the last discussion was about a travel itinerary for France from May to June. Right? This was the last discussion. So it will directly tell you that what is the last discussion. This is how you can maintain and save the agent state. Now about teams. How to save the team state. So in this, again, we have the two agents. So again, my job is to do what? Write a poem about the sea in 3 lines. Now, for which I am using two agents. First agent is what? You are a helpful assistant. Give the output in less than 30 words. Same, you are a helpful assistant, less than 30 words. My termination condition I am giving is max message termination condition. I am defining round robin chat, providing the participants and termination condition. And if I run with the console string, what I am getting is this is what I am getting. And the last is always task header. Right? Writer 1, writer 2. So both of them are writing the poem about C in 3 lines. This is also writing about C. This is also writing about C. All right. Now, what I'm doing is I'm saving the team state over here in something called as team state. Now, what I'm doing is just to check whether it is properly saved or not, I'm resetting my team, agent team, through reset operation. Right? And then if I run, what was the last line of the poem you wrote, which is I'm asking this. But since the team is set, what it will give you as an AI, I don't write poems. I don't have personal creative works or experience. Right. So say it is saying that again, it is giving actually proper output because it does not know the team is reset, the state is reset, but it can also hallucinate. It can give you any output. That is also possible. You can try it out. Right. So now what I'm doing is I'm loading that team state again back to the new agent team, and then if I ask the same question, what was the last line of the poem? It will tell you salty breeze forever true, salty breeze forever true. Right. Now, if you print this team state, which we are trying to save it, this one, right? You will get it something like this, whole JSON kind of format. And once you have JSON kind of format, you can directly, so when I print the type, it is a dictionary type. Once you have a dictionary, what you can do is you can serialize to a file, or you can also write it into the database. That is also possible. Right. So that's what I have done over here. I have used that team state JSON, and then I can perform any operation through that. So let's say your team state is already defined somewhere in this format in the file. You can just import that file from that team having a team state and directly run whatever you want. So whatever was there in the previous case over here, this all I have stored in some file or database, and then I am importing it over here, and you can store this in team state. This is what is the team state JSON. So you can directly import, right? Team state.json. That is also possible. Now, next is always we have the human in the loop, which is already one of the important part when we talk about the agentic framework. So, human in the loop, again, you can go to Autogen, and there is something called as human in the loop. Now, human in the loop is possible in different ways. So, first way is user proxy agent. So, I will show you that diagram. This is what is the user proxy agent. Now, if I want to explain you in very simpler way, then how it can be. First of all, the task is given by the user. It will go inside this orchestrator framework, which is the agentic framework running with the interaction of round robin group chat. Agent 1 will be given a task, which is given by the user. Agent 1 will give the output. That output is given to the user proxy agent. Now, this is you as a user. It will ask you whether this output is correct or not. So, what user proxy agent will do? It will give the response. So, here it is being asked, and here it will be asked, and here it will give the output, and the output is going inside the again framework, and it will given to the agent 3. So every time what will happen is agent 1 user proxy agent 3. This is how it goes on. Agent 2 is replaced with user. So between the two agents, which is the assistant agent, you have a user agent, right? User agent will check every time whatever is coming. So for that time being, the whole execution will get stopped because the feedback is being asked by the user from the user. So user will respond, and then again the whole work will get executed one more time. Right? So here, since it is using this user input, IPython notebooks are not good at implementing input function in VS Code, right? So that's why I'm using simple Python files, right, for implementing this. So what I'm doing over here is I'm defining one assistant agent, and I'm defining one user proxy agent. Now see how to from where to take the user proxy agent. Again from on agents.agents, right? And here what I'm giving a task is write a 4-line poem about the ocean, right? it will go to the assistant agent, it will write that 4-line poem, and then the response is given to the user for the feedback. So again, you can just hover over to this and find out what it is telling you. Description and input function. So what is description? A proxy agent that represents the user. And input function is what? User input. Now this does not require any mind, does not require any LLM, because it is a user agent. It does not have to do anything. It just have to provide the feedback. That's it. So it does not lead this model client, right? And termination condition is text mention termination, which is approved. Since this is Python file, I can directly write this main and then I can run this. So it will try to just run this file and it will take some time. It will write a 4-line poem about the ocean. This is what the user. An assistant is saying enter your response. So it has given me the 4-line poem. Now it is telling me enter your response. So here I can write, give me in short. So this is my response, give me in short. So it is giving you deep blue expanse, waves rise and fall. That's it. Right. So it has made it short. Right. Okay. This is what is the importance of user proxy agent. It will try to give the feedback. Right. And it does not need the L. But what is the disadvantage of this? Disadvantage of this is that the team will get stopped till uh, the user gives the input as in the form of feedback. Right. Now this is the next way with which you can. This is a chatbot use case. Now, how to provide human in the loop in a other way? First is user proxy agent. Second is using maxturn. Maxturn means what? After one run, the turn is passed to the user that you can give the response, right? Okay. So maxturn is used. So you can again go to the human in loop and just go down, providing a feedback to the next turn. This is the second way of human in the loop. Where here we have the 3 agents. After 3 agents, the feedback is given to the user and then it goes on, like using max turns. This is the first way. So I have implemented that over here. So I have defined 3 agents. First is we are interested in storytelling. So first agent is narrate the story. Second agent will introduce the hero inside the story. And third is connect the different characters of the stories into it. Right. I have kept max turns equal to 1. Right. So like after one turn, it will ask me. That's what it is telling you. Max turns. One turn means what? After this, the narrator, it will generate the response. Now this is what is the user. User will be asked. Right. So if I run this, say I have given that please provide your feedback and type exit to stop. Right. So first agent will be executed and then it will, if I run this, now it is saying that it is okay with, see, it has given me the story, but it is saying that from my side it is terminate, but it will not get terminate. It is asking your response. Okay, first agent has done the job, which is the hero narrator agent. Now I'm asking the hero agent, because it is a round robin group. Introduce hero into it. In this story, introduce the hero. So now it has introduced the hero, a lone traveler. This is the hero, right? Now again it is saying terminate, but still it is not terminate. It is turn is going to the guide. Max turn is equal to 1. So I'll say introduce villain and connect it to hero. This is the guide agent which is doing this job. So this is the evil, ancient evil street. This is what is the villain. Now if I say terminate, it will still not terminate. If I write exit, it will exit because I'm using type exit to stop. But it is saying that from that side it is done. That's why it is using terminate. And I am written over here. Right. So this is the second. Right. Same way you can have termination condition which you can give it over here. So I can directly go to now this AI interviewer. Now what is the project structure in this AI interviewer? So in this we have 3 agents. One is your interviewer, second is interviewee, and third is the career coach. Now interviewer is assistant agent, career coach is assistant agent, and the interviewee which is going to answer the question which is user proxy agent. So this is going to give the response whether the interviewee which has been responding to the interviewer question which is correct or not, right? So all these things which we have already learned, now it will come into the picture. What you need to do is you have to define 3 things: agents, model, termination condition, and teams, which we are already discussing since very long, right? So I can go to this. Now this is how it goes on. I'm defining 3 agents. First is interviewer, right? Now interviewer is what? Again, model times is Gemini. Description is an AI agent that conducts the interview for a job position. Job position, I am already defining it over here using uh, software engineer, right? An AI agent that conducts the interview for a job position. This is what is the system. Now, this is where this prompt engineering is important. You are a professional interviewer for the said position. Ask one clear question at a time. Wait for user to respond. Your job is to continue and ask the question. Don't pay any attention to career coach, because every time when you respond, uh, the career coach will start acting into it, because it is a round robin group chat which we are going to use. So career coach will start, it will get triggered, it will give you the response directly. You should do it like this, you should give it like this, right? So it will give you the response, but you don't have to wait for this career coach to respond. What it will do is continue ask the question. Make sure to ask the question based on the candidate's answer and your expertise in the field. Ask 3 questions in total, covering technical skills and experience problem solving abilities. After asking 3 questions, say terminate. This is what is text mention termination at the end of the interview. Make question under the 50 words. So this is what is the interviewer agent. Then user proxy, nothing we have to do it. Just we have to write down the name of the user proxy agent, which is the candidate. Third is career coach. Career coach is what? An AI agent that provides feedback and advice to candidate for a job position. What is the system message? You're a career coach specializing in preparing candidates for this interview. Provide constructive feedback on the candidate's response and suggest the improvement. After the interview, summarize the candidate's performance and provide actionable advice. Make it under the 100 points. Right? Once you define these three agents, your job is very much easy. Go into the round robin group chat, provide all three participants, provide the terminate condition. Again, I am also keeping max turns equal to 20 so that 20 turns will be taken, and I run the team. So if I run this code, so conduct an interview, which is the first message. Hello, thank you for coming in today. The agent is asking, can you describe a significant software project you have worked on recently? What was your role and which technology did you primarily use? So if I write, I have worked on big data projects where I used Azure, GCP, and so on. This is my response, candidate response. Now, the feedback career coach will come into the picture. That's a good start. Mentioning the cloud platforms like Azure and GCP. However, for a software engineer role, I would love to hear more specifics. Be concrete, big data projects, pinpoint one specific project. Elaborate and role. What exactly did you do? Detailed technologies beyond the cloud provider, what you have done. Highlight impact. Briefly mention the project goal and challenges. Let's try that again. Now it is asking me one more time. Could you elaborate on one specific big data project you worked on? What was your particular role in that? So if I write, I worked on RAG. It's any response you can give, right? Building a RAG system. Again, it will start giving you the, uh, could you describe a specific RAG project and all these things, right? Okay. So this is how I'm giving the keyboard interrupt. So this is how it is uh, giving you the career coach. And see, again, I have given the prompt that you have to ask three questions and don't focus on career coach. Just go on asking the question. It will continue with asking the question. What you can do is you can just modularize this code, right? So you can have the two files. One is main from which the code can run. This is what is the deployment ready code. You can use this kind of code for the deployment, right? So main is there from which I am calling this AI interviewer.py, right? And this is how it goes on, right? So this is how the three agents. Now again, this is one simpler way to do this. If you want to add the agentic RAG, you can add the resume of the candidate and try to get the things on board that specific to resume. If you give the system message and try to find out that uh, what based on the specific candidate resume which is being attached as the external source, ask the question or which kind of projects you have done from that, or directly it will ask you on in this project what you have done. So that is one more step ahead which you can do by adding the resume into it. So these are the uh, things which you can uh, do it in the, so very easy way of tackling the multi-agent framework. So yeah, that's it from my side. If you have anything, you can ask.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. If any participant want to ask any question, he or she can.
So try to incorporate all these things, which is like different framework which you have just now observed, and try to get it the things like which tool, which framework you are very much like you are comfortable with. So that is also one of the way with which you can. Any question? Yeah, I'll surely provide you the link, sir. I'm having all these resource links which are ready with me. I'll just paste it in GitHub. I guess GitHub is created for this FDP. So you can just I just for the uh, just for the case, in case if you are like, I'll just give it to you, but I have mentioned some different comparison like LangChain. LangChain is a sequential one, right? Where you don't have that orchestration possible, parallel orchestration workflow possible. That's why we have a LangGraph, which is using LangChain ecosystem, right? Crew AI is also there. Crew AI is most probably used in startups today, right? It's very simple to adapt. Uh, Autogen is like where if you are good in coding part and if you are having complex workflows, then go for the Autogen. Right? Crew AI is also good one. Uh, but whenever you need deep agent customization or dynamic team interactions, in that scenario, I always prefer Autogen instead of Crew AI. There is one more from the Microsoft semantic kernel, if you have heard about. This is also one of the framework, but which is used for enhancing the existing specific application which you have made through AI. So like if you have one application which you have made, but if you want to enhance it with AI, you can use Microsoft semantic kernel. So that is again the other thing, and the Llama index. So all these things I've already kept it in this. You can able to get it over here. So any question, any feedbacks, everything is welcome. Uh,
Thank you so much, sir, for this session. I hope participant will gain some knowledge from this.
Thank
If
you,
any,
NIT team, for inviting me for such a prestigious event for delivering a session. And thanks to all the team for this efforts.
thank you, sir. If any have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we will move to the session 2. Thank you so much, sir. You can stop sharing your screen.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Can you just remove if possible?
Okay, now we are heading out to our session two. For our session two, we have Mr. Gautam Rawal. He is from Turnitin. Currently, he is the business and outreach manager in Turnitin LLC. Total of having 10 years of professional experience. On behalf of the organizing committee and all participants, I extend a very warm welcome to you, sir. We look forward to your talk and to learning from your rich experience and innovative work. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for the introduction. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
So, today we'll talk about GradeScope as an application. What